So this next question that we're going to be talking about is a very big deal. Should I do a short-term mission trips? Now, short-term mission trips are happening like wildfire across America. Every year, over 2 million people go on short-term mission trips. And the question is, should you be engaged in them?
Now, with that question, there are two main camps that exist. There's this one camp that says, you're wasting your time if you go on a short-term mission trip. Like, what can you possibly do in 7 days? What impact can you have? There's that one camp. There's another camp that says, if you can't give a week of your life to go on a short-term mission trip, you are dead inside. So there's these two opposing camps that exist, and we just really want to address that and kind of bring to light what we think about short-term mission trips.
Really less about how long you stay within the country. It's more about what you're doing and who you're going with.
Yeah.
Because these trips could either be helpful or they can be poisonous.
That's right.
Are you going to build a house, or are you going to paint an orphanage, or are you really investing in the long-term development of people within the country? Those are the questions you should be asking. And so we've developed 4 tips to help you out. The first one is no handouts. Second, investment. Third, partnerships, and fourth is preparation.
And to kind of remember those, it's NIPS. To start off, no handouts. The big crisis that we're seeing within short-term mission trips is that a lot of times they focus on the giving handouts, seeing that there are communities around the globe that don't have the clothes or the shoes or the food that we have in the United States. And so in response, we've got churches and individuals that go into these communities and just give clothes and food and shoes in response to poverty. Now, there is a time for handouts when there's an immediate crisis and there is a disaster, like what happened in 2010, the earthquake in Haiti, or 2016, Hurricane Irma in the South Peninsula of Haiti. Of course, we're giving the clothes and the food to help people survive. But after that disaster, if you are giving handouts in response to a chronic issue, that's when you start to cripple communities and you start to really hurt communities more than you help. We've got to address crisis as a crisis and chronic issues as a chronic issue. So number one, make sure that if you're doing a short-term mission, you're not going to give handouts or painting an orphanage that has been painted 3 times in the same year, or building a house when there are skilled construction workers in the area. Don't do for others what they can do for themselves. No handouts.
Second, investment. Is your organization or is your mission trip contributing to long-term investment within the country? Is it just a one-time deal where you go and then you leave and that community never sees your organization again? Or is it something where you're actually investing in building these long-term relationships? This can be a really touchy subject because, like Bertrhude said, there's so many organizations that go and they build homes, or they go and they paint houses, and they're doing all of these things, but are they really investing in the long-term development? Is there a needs assessment happening within the community? Are you asking people within the community what they need? Are you asking what their strengths are? Are you looking at what their dreams are and partnering with them in those dreams? Because that long-term investment makes all the difference in short-term mission trips.
That's right.
Because you can go for 1 week, but you could also be a part of that long-term story where, you're going for 1 week, but you're part of a year-round movement that's happening.
Yes, girl. Yes. That is good. The next one, that was really good. The next one, partnership. Is there an emphasis on mutually benefiting partnership? And by that, mutually beneficial partnerships is, hey, I'm going into this community, and of course, I'm going to be a blessing or to help this community. But in the same way I'm going to help them, they're going to help me. I know that with P4H, we really emphasize mutually benefiting partnerships. We do things where it's like learning circles, where we go and we sit down, we learn from community leaders. We go and we make sure that there's an emphasis on building partnership. And you can really tell if an organization is in the business of building partnerships by the way they talk about the community that they're going to be helping. If there's always they're so poor, we've got to save these people, saving Haiti, we are the
red
hope.
flags.
Yeah, we are the hope for Haiti. We are the I'm sorry, for me, there's only one hope, okay? Really, there needs to be an emphasis on partnerships and making sure that we're going in not with a savior complex, but in with the complex of, hey, I'm going to help you out with building your capacity, but you're going to also help me out with knowledge on resilience, knowledge on faith, knowledge on all of these different things. Partnerships.
And the last point, preparation. Are you being prepared to step foot for 1 week or however long it is into that country? A lot of times you'll need background information about the culture, the language. Do you know what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be helping? And that all happens before you go on the trip. So ask yourself, or ask the organization, does the preparation look like before stepping foot in the country? Because that's a huge deal in regards to really connecting with the people you're going to be working with and building this higher esteem of the people you're going to be working with. Because imagine, if you knew nothing about the community that you're going to be working with, it's really easy to come in with assumptions and to potentially think that, oh, you know better than what's happening within the community. But having that background information really helps esteem the local community and helps you really partner in a meaningful way. So ask yourself, or ask the organization, are you being adequately prepared?
Yeah. So we, of course, can't speak highly enough about short-term mission trips or international experiences, but we do think that taking these 4 tips, no handouts, investments, partnerships, preparation, that can really maximize a trip and make it so that this trip has a powerful impact. Hey, there's a lot of research that says when you do international trips, whether it's a service trip or a missions trip, you get to grow in cultural knowledge, cultural intelligence. You can grow in self-efficacy. You can grow in all of these different things, international awareness, international career goals. You can grow so much with these international experiences. We just want to make sure that as you're stepping into the route of doing a short-term trip, you're really positioned to make sure you're not hurting the people you're wanting to help with this trip.
So we encourage you, take a step back when you're presented with an opportunity to go on a missions trip and really reflect and ask yourselves these questions to make sure that the trip that you're going on is going to be helpful and that you yourself are going to be investing in the long-term development of a country.